only and only talking about this right now. And एक बार वो pose के साथ, if we could, start. This is what we are talking about. So welcome to Mumbai one more time.
So glad to be here. My love to all of the media here for always giving us so much love and acceptance. हमारी जो मलयालम इंडस्ट्री एक छोटी सी इंडस्ट्री है और ये पहली बार है हम आई थिंक बॉम्बे में आके एक मलयालम फिल्म प्रमोट कर रहे हैं. तो हमारी यही इच्छा थी कि एक फिल्म जो हम बड़ी सी स्केल में लाइक शूट करके ट्राई एंड रीच मैक्सिमम ऑडियंसेस अक्रॉस द कंट्री. तो ये आई थिंक 4 भाषाओं में आ रही. And it's very dear to me because usually I do some 4 films a year, one in each language. But I've spent the past 1 year making this film. Wow. We've created an entire set in Karekudi, which I think you can see in the trailer. But at the base of it, it's a very story-driven film. It's more of a gangster drama. It's a friendship film. It's got love and emotions and bit of comedy and some great music. So I'm hoping it's going to appeal across the country. Also, I don't usually do this type of genre or even characters, so it was very new for me. It's very exciting for me. But thank you for all the love that we've been getting from the teaser and the trailer. And it gives us a lot of positive energy. And I hope it keeps growing. So can't wait for all of you to watch it on the 24th. I've dubbed it myself in all 4 languages. I think it's very important that I do that I get my voice across to all of you. And that effort is always worth it when I get feedback from the audiences here. So it's a big month for me. Tomorrow Guns and Gulabs is also coming out. So I think all the 2 releases I have are both coming 1 week apart this year. So I'm fingers crossed for both. But thank you so much. Always, you guys give us so much love. And like I said, you're so well researched. And I love coming here and interacting with all of you. And now that I've been coming quite often, I think I have a lot of friends now in the media. So it's great to see all your faces again. And yeah.
What excited you more? Tell me. Football खेलते भी दिख रहे हो आप, तो football को लात मारना या लोगों को football बनाना? What excited you more इस film?
Actually, that football kick was quite tricky. क्योंकि to get the angle right, so बहुत बार करना पड़ा. Right. Fights are quite tough in that sense, and depending on the fight masters, I think we have different fight masters on the film. But always, love to the fighters who work with us because they really, put in the most effort. They really take the falls and everything. So I think all of those people are there to make us look very good. So yeah, but I don't think I've done this much physical action or in a film in a very long time.
Right. And now action की बात हो गई, प्यार की बात करते. There are so many emotions in this trailer that we've already seen. प्यार की जहाँ पे बात आती है, she is gorgeous. She is super talented. Aishwarya Lakshmi, ladies and gentlemen, जोरदार तालियां. Come on, make some more noise for her, yeah. The very gorgeous lady is here with us. And let's ask her to spill the beans, tell us all about Raju and Tara ki prem kahani in this case. So hi, welcome. So good to see you.
Nitin. Thank you. Good afternoon and very nice to meet all of you again. I'm very glad that I could be here promoting this film because the last time I was here, I was promoting a Tamil film. I was very proud, feeling very proud. But this is even more special because I started as an actor in Malayalam. So to represent a Malayalam film in the heart of Mumbai, in the heart of Indian cinema, is such a heartwarming thing for me. I feel very proud. And I'm glad that I could meet all of you again.
Wow. We are super happy to see you again. The last time that movie that you just talked about, it shattered a lot of records down there.
Yes.
And across the nation won a lot of hearts.
Yes.
Here, तारा को कितना मुश्किल हुआ उनका दिल जीतना या वो आपका दिल जीत रहे? What is happening?
अरे it was very easy.
Actually, राजू उनके पीछे पड़े हैं.
बता के खत्म करो. तो राजू आपके पीछे पड़े. कितना मुश्किल हुई उनको?
उसको मुश्किल हुई क्योंकि I was trying to. Okay, I cannot say that.
Stop revealing all spoilers.
Yeah. Sorry.
Please be careful. Abhilash sir is gonna break my head otherwise.
I'm going to call him Abhilash Saab from today. The way you were saying it sounds nice. Yeah.
बिल्कुल. तो ये तो director साहब की बात हुई. Of course, the chemistry. We have to talk about that beautiful thing because टॉकिंग अबाउट द प्रीवियस मूवी एंड दिस मूवी, स्पेक्ट्रम का दो हिस्से हैं जो दोनों आपने कवर कर लिए हैं. पिछली वाली में आप यहाँ थे, यहाँ पे आप यहाँ हैं. सो हाउ डिफिकल्ट वाज इट और हाउ इजी वाज इट टू गेट इनटू द कैरेक्टर?
I am a director's actor, so whatever my director says, I completely surrender and I obey.
Right.
That's what I do. So because of how he helped me through the film, it felt easy for me. There were a lot of emotional sequences, very real sequences.
Right.
There was a certain sequence because he's a gangster. I'm supposed to be afraid of him in one of the sequences, and that is one emotion that I feel as an actor is very difficult for me to feel, like to show.
Sure.
And DQ was saying the other day that it came across very naturally, and I actually would, attribute the naturalness of my fear to how you were performing. It was amazing working with DQ. We didn't speak as much on set, but I could feel that he's a very warm person. He takes care of all of his team members, and it matters to me that people around me are nice. I feel happier around people like that. I feel more energetic. So thank you for that. Thank you for being nice to all of us.
Wow. Thank you so much for sharing that. Come on, make some noise, ladies and gentlemen, for these wonderful, wonderful people here. And now, to invite on stage the man who just claimed, no, DQ is my friend. We are very good. But screen पे तो कुछ और देखने को मिल रहा है. Give it up for the bad man, ladies and gentlemen. Please make some noise for Shabbir sir in the house. Shabbir Kalrakkal साहब हमारे साथ यहाँ पे another versatile actor. And इससे पहले भी इनकी performances को बड़ा सारा प्यार आप लोगों ने दिया है. Welcome, so good to see you. And उचित दूरी बनाए रखते हैं, थोड़ा दूर हो जाते हैं यहाँ पे. Tell us, we often talk about lead actor and lead actress की chemistry, but here a lot of people are talking about you and this gentleman here कि राजू और कनन जब सामने होने वाले हैं तो उसमें बहुत power लगेगी. What do you have to say?
First, good afternoon. This is my first time in Mumbai. And thank you again, as like they mentioned, thank you for the love. And what can I say about it? It's about a friend. I play a friend.
Yeah, it's a friendship show. You can say it.
Yeah, it's a friendship film, and it's got love in. I would say it's got love, romantic wise, and there's friends, there's love for power, and it's a friendship film. And I don't think I can talk much more than that.
I think the big chemistry in this film is Raju and Kanan.
Yeah, Raju and Kanan.
There's a major bromance that's there in this film.
Yeah.
So along with Raju and Tara, I think Raju and Kanan also will be
See, I knew it.
really celebrated.
I knew it. I'm sure there'll be a lot of things that you'll share with us जैसे जैसे समय बीतेगा. 24th August is when this movie releases, and हम सब तो जाने वाले हैं. We are all very excited, and I'm sure आप अपना excitement अपने questions के through भी उसको express कर सकते हैं. So it's over to all you wonderful people now. Yeah? जी, कहाँ से आ रहा पहला सवाल? पाजी? Yeah. वो
हेलो इसमें तो है ना. ओके, सो किंग ऑफ कथा एंड पूरी टीम को बहुत बहुत स्वागत. दिस इज सिमरन सिंह फ्रॉम डीएनए. दुलकर, आपसे मिलकर दोबारा मिलकर बहुत अच्छा लग रहा है.
Same. Always happy to see you guys.
ओके, सो मेरा सवाल पहले आपसे यही बनता है कि जो आपका कैरेक्टर, दिस इज द फर्स्ट टाइम यू आर प्लेइंग सच अ मासी कैरेक्टर. सो जब भी हम कोई गैंगस्टर रोल प्ले करते हैं, सो वी हैव दिस सीड्स या जहाँ से हम एनर्जी चैनलाइज करते हैं, वी हैव सम रेफरेंसेस कहीं ना कहीं. जैसे हम बात करें बचपन में भी हम आईने के आगे खड़े होकर ऐसे स्टाइल मारते रहे. वी यूज्ड टू से दिस डायलॉग टू गेट इनटू द कैरेक्टर, टू गेट इन द स्किन ऑफ दैट कैरेक्टर. व्हाट वाज योर रेफरेंस पॉइंट, या व्हाट वाज इट दैट यू एक्चुअली चैनलाइज्ड that king of Kotha?
I think it's got a very deep-rooted story in the film, and I think in being in period and in arriving at my look and my clothes and everything, I think somewhere I kind of understood the essence of Raju. A lot of the body language in this is not anything I would usually do, and I'm extremely calm and patient as a human. But Raju is very volatile. He's very, just impulsive. He explodes very violently. So that is something I had to really dig deep to find. I know a lot of the shots we went in slightly longer takes, so I could just be in that, because you can't suddenly arrive at that, like, in a quick cut. But a lot of the times I think it's just in the writing. And I try mostly to find something original, because I feel like every time you use a reference point, you will have those influences. Which is not a bad thing, but I think my goal is always to kind of surprise myself and the audience. So a lot of these things that I was trying, and I don't know if it's going to work or not. So that's the gamble, right? Like when when you do a scene a certain way. And I had the freedom, my director gave me the freedom to try things. And then I'll go and I'm like, how's the playback? Does that thing work? You know, even this hand thing that I was doing, I was like, is that working? So a lot of it, I think, is like trial and error. But it was just great to this past year has been so interesting in terms of deviations from characters. I think from Ram and Danny and Arjun and Raju, they're all different men. And if I can not appear as myself, not appear as DQ or whatever people see me as, and only appear as these characters, I think that is what I strive for.
Good afternoon. Hi, Dulkar. Straight. Yeah, hi. I'm Vijay Lakshmi from the Free Press Journal. My question to you is, earlier in May when Tovino was down in Mumbai for the special screening of 2018, he mentioned a very crucial point about the Malayalam film industry. Like, unlike the other languages down south, there is still, not a outstanding pan-Indian Malayalam film that has made that kind of noise, like say a Pushpa from like a Pushpa or an RRR or a KGF in comparison. Do you think, as a producer, and more importantly, as someone who is presenting King of Kotha on a pan-Indian scale, do you see that change happening?
I think, especially post COVID and the advent of OTT, I think now if you want to draw people to the theaters, you have to offer a theatrical experience. There has to be some kind of spectacle. Like, people, I think, need that value for their money, right? They need entertainment on a larger scale. So Malayalam always having been very much more like budget focused. I think we were always a little wary of going bigger. But I think this whole lockdown and people watching our cinema is kind of making us now a familiar face across. So now I think we all have a lot more courage to push that. And I think in my journey, very organically working in all these industries, now I feel like I can dub my films and bring it to audiences everywhere. So with this, we pushed as much as we could in terms of budget and scale. We went all out. It's my most expensive film to date. It's the biggest film we have produced as a company. And I think the goal is to give it that big spectacle, that theatrical experience. And what I think is beautiful now in India is we're all discovering so much more about each other, so much of our stories, so much of our culture, like our micro-cultures. Like if you, like Kantara, I think had that beauty of that yeah, exactly, which is not familiar to people, say maybe up north or maybe in the northeast. It's so far away from them. So I love that we are telling rooted stories from each of our like places, and then getting that to spread as much as possible. So that is the goal. It isn't like when we say we don't have those big pan-Indian films. I think certain stories lend themselves to that. Some are maybe smaller, and the thing is the audience is spoiled for choice. You have films from everywhere, and so if you're gonna penetrate in that manner, you have to kind of come a little big. You have to make a lot of noise. So I think the goal when we started this film was to try and make it as big an experience as possible. And I think this is something that hopefully we can push those boundaries with.
Hi. Hi, this is Abhishek from Bollywood Now. Here. Firstly, congratulations for two things. One is you completing 11 years in the industry. Also, your 2 back-to-back releases. So we are happy and lucky to see you on screen. मेरा सवाल है आपसे हिंदी में कि आपने कहीं कहा है कि आप खुद को स्क्रीन पर देखना नहीं पसंद करते या नर्वस रहते हो, तो अभी 2 बैक-टू-बैक पिक्चरें आ रही है, एक वेब सीरीज़ है और एक बिग स्क्रीन रिलीज़ है, तो आप इसे कैसे देखते हैं?
जी, मैं अभी यही सोच रहा था कि ये पहली बार ये ट्रेलर मैं बिग स्क्रीन पे देख रहा हूँ, और अभी क्या हो रहा है, लाइक ये लुक ठीक है, मैं ठीक कर रहा हूँ. So all that is there, but I think my intent is to keep doing well and kind of convince you guys that I am this character and perform that role to the best of my ability. So I think अभी 11 साल हो चुके हैं, तो थोड़ा I'm a little more like used to seeing myself, but I'm very bad at revisiting my films. I think वो release के वक्त 2-3 बार हम सब मिलके देखते हैं. Then after some time I'm just like done. क्योंकि I think most of us actors have that. अरे ये scene में ऐसा भी कर सकता था. It could have been approached a different way. Maybe I should have done this. A lot of the times I think for me, I don't know about the others, but हम जब scenes perform करते हैं, obviously directors tell us certain things and हम भी improvise करते हैं. पर जब हम shoot ख़त्म करके जब हम room या घर जाते हैं, तभी उसी वक्त एक idea आ जाता है, like अरे मैं ऐसा कर सकता था उस scene में. Weirdly these things happen later. So I think when we watch ourselves on screen, I'm like, I should have done that. That happens, but I think it comes from the passion towards it. But yeah, I think I'm getting a little more used to it.
But Mammootty sir is exactly opposite of you.
I don't know if he'll say he loves watching himself on screen, but I know that he now revisits his old films, like from the 80s. And, I see him sometimes in his room. If I walk in, he'll be just like on YouTube, watching a very old film of his. I think he's also reminiscing those times, reminiscing those memories of how they made that film. And he's like, today I might not play this character like that. So I think it is important to do that. But yeah, I should revisit my stuff more.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Hi all, this is Atulya from Midday. My question is for you, Aishwarya. Ever since Maya Nadi, you have picked up roles which are quite memorable. So what made you say yes to King of Kotha?
I couldn't understand the scale of it, and I understood that it's going to be a huge film. The story, whatever I understood, I did. But the first day I was on set, it was huge. It was like 4 acres of land where they have built buildings, a town, a temple, a pond, a lot of things. A pond was already there. Okay. A lot of things were built. And it was all, it was all made to feel very genuine. And I've worked in a lot of Malayalam films, none of this scale. For me, this was a new experience, and I always like to work with newer technicians, newer directors. For example, they give us different points every time I work. I take something from one director and I use it for my next film. So with Abhilash Shetty, I wouldn't understand. We'll be doing one take some 3-4 times. I wouldn't understand what changed he wanted. So it will be so minute. But then once I go back and I discuss, he'll tell me how it fits into the entirety of a film and stuff like that. So I hold those discussions close to my heart. I feel it would help me in my next film, in my upcoming films. But to answer your question, the story and as well as the scale of the film, I couldn't understand it, but I knew it was something big.
Dulka, I have a question for you as well. How has your association been with Z Studios as a producer and an actor, and to bring this film to a larger audience?
It's been great. Actually, I've earlier been a little wary of big studios, because sometimes there's so many departments, and sometimes there's no ownership of the film. Like every department will keep the decision making keeps getting pushed around. But my experience with Z has been fab. Like they've really been true partners. They've been with us through the entire journey of making the film, even in edit, and now in post. A lot of our marketing is entirely them. I give them full credit. They're really passionate, and they understand cinema. And they make so many films a year, it's like 40, 50 films a year across languages. To see them give a film so much time and attention, it's been a wonderful experience, and I think Wayfarer will happily associate with them in the future also.
Hi, Center here. See me? Hi, this is Mayur here from Beyond Bollywood. Firstly, warm welcome to all of you. Dulquer, firstly, obviously, I'm a journalist. I'm also a film critic. And मैं उम्मीद करता हूँ कि आज आप मुझे चुप नहीं कराओगे. And मैंने आपकी फिल्म को 3 स्टार दिए थे, वो genuine थे, कोई बिना डर के नहीं थे. So firstly, obviously, looking at the title, and in the age of pan-India, I am obviously born and brought up in Mumbai, but my primary language is Hindi. And I would say especially the northern and the Hindi belt. The moment I see this title, so how important firstly it is for you guys to tell them it is King of Kotha and not the usual Hindi pronunciation.
So it's in the film Kotha, in Malayalam it's Kotta. It's a fictional town. Such a town doesn't exist. So we needed to create a fictional town, so it was named that name. It had to be a bit of a lawless land, so I think that's the reason to come up with a fictional town. But the thing is, I didn't want to change the name across languages. I wanted it to be one film. And in a way, it's interesting because there is a little discussion about how to say the name. So I think any kind of conversation, any kind of chatter about a film helps the film in some way. Like there is conversations happening. So I think in the trailer, when I'm dubbing the film in each language I have to kind of say the name a little differently because Kotta in Telugu means new. In Tamil, it could sound a bit like a abuse. So, and then in Hindi, so I remember like Rajkumar during Guns, he's like, King of Kota, like Kota. I was like, no. It's not that. So yeah, so we've kind of arrived at Kotha. But I think it is important, like I said, I think we should have one title. And being rooted in whichever language the film is conceived in, I think we should try and make that, travel. But I think people quickly get used to it. I think in the first 5 minutes of the film, when you talk about the town, I think that gets registered, and I think this will go out of your mind and you'll get into the story.
Okay. And one other question, Dulquer, for you, obviously. Based on the trailer, obviously, it seems like it could be perhaps a 80s or a 90s setting, and where obviously the region loves football. So I wanted to ask you, obviously there's the great Diego Maradona, but how much of a football fan are you, and whether it's a national, international team or a club team, which ones are your favorite?
So in all honesty, I don't watch a lot of sport. I'm sorry to disappoint the fans, because in Kerala it's like religion, but I'm very bad at lying. For some reason, I mean, I played it in school, but I'm very bad at tuning into television for some reason. At a fixed time, something's playing out. I think my whole life I've struggled with it. I've tried to set reminders, alarms. I'm very bad at that. But because it's so unique, I think, to Kerala, and especially North Kerala, there's so many of these sevens football tournaments, and they bring in players from different parts of the world even. That's another interesting microculture that we have. There's been a lovely film made on it called Sudani from Nigeria. So I think that was one of the reasons maybe the writer wanted to include it. And I think it's a nice detail about both these characters, that they're football fanatics, and they have it's there in the film a lot. But yeah, I have to admit I don't really watch a lot of sport.
To add to that, just a sec, Shabir sir, your experience, was it all work and no play on the sets? या नहीं, football खेला, थोड़ा सा खेला, camera बंद हुआ, अभी pack up. How was it? What were you people up to? Tell us.
It was fun. I would say that this production, Zia and Wayfarers, have spoiled me. I don't know, next Malayalam movie, I don't know how they're going to do it. So yeah, it was fun. I mean, every time, he's always taking care of his actors and the crew and all that. And the first time I met him in the set, there was lull silence. We were in the car, the first look which came. I was like, okay, how do I break the silence? Then I was looking forward, and there was Abhilash, the director, walking across. And I was just thinking, oh, that's his childhood friend, right? Then he, out of nowhere, says, I know him from, like, we are chuddy buddies. And ever since that, it has been like banter. Every time I have something happening, I can always go to him and talk to him. With Aishwarya also, she's always bubbly in the set. Whenever I see him, she's like, hi, how are you? I was like, how does she have so much energy? And the whole set was fun, and that I think comes from the captain, which again, DQS, and yeah, it was fun to answer your question. I had a jolly good time there.
Right. Cool. Thank you so much for sharing that.
Hello.
Yes, please.
Hi, Pooja Nawat here from Awesome TV. Congratulations, the trailer looks simply awesome, and welcome to Mumbai.
Thank you.
So my question is to Dulquer. Trailer के end में थोड़ा सा twist दिखा. If you can give us a little spoiler, are you playing double role in this film?
But if I reveal that, then you won't enjoy that in the film. So, I mean, it is an interesting twist, but for the full viewing experience, see it in cinemas.
Absolutely. And Shabir, I really want to know, what's the one best quality, since you called him a friend, what is the one best quality about Dulquer as a friend?
He cares from the heart. Like, it is not to make, like, just to show. It comes from inside. And that's what he said in another interview. Why does he produce his movies? Because he wants to protect his films. And that's the same attitude he has towards his friends. So, yeah, that quality I absolutely love about him. Yeah.
Hello.
Cool. We'll take two more questions.
Yes.
Ji,
I have a question for each one of you. Hi, my name is Nishad. I'm from CNN News 18. I'll start with him.
Yes.
Shabir, you were the Dancing Rose. And you're familiar with action.
Thank you for recognizing that. We have had trouble with.
We have such a tough time because Shabir looks so different in every film.
Absolutely, yes.
People cannot recognize him.
That's
Like in Hyderabad, they thought he was the director.
So Shabir, you're familiar with action, So did you find it probably getting back to the set and getting back to action sequences over here is obviously quite different, like Dulquer said. So was it a little more easy for you?
It was absolutely easy for me though, because
He loves action.
I love action. So I mean, I have my when I'm not shooting, I train every day on action. I have my own parkour setup at my home, so I had a blast. And every time there's an action sequence, I'm like, yes, my day.
He will go and tell, sir, can I do the stunt? Please, we don't need a double for me. I want to do it. I'm like, ये पागल है?
I had absolute fun there. Yeah.
That's nice. Aishwarya, coming to you, you have worked with Dulquer's father before and Christopher. So coming back to Dulquer, the father-son duo, how would you explain your experience to be?
So I know where Dulquer gets all his good qualities from, because I worked with Mamuka before. And I adore him, and I adore Dulquer too. And I'm saying this from my heart. I love these two gentlemen. I think we are so fortunate that Malayalam cinema has them both. And now Mamuka sir, I think this is Mamuka's gift to Indian cinema.
Wow.
That is nice. Dulquer, coming to you, we've seen the trailer, it's fantastic. And I'll come to the background music, because in Malayalam cinema, coming from the time when we have seen Narasimham, Valyat, and the background music has played a huge role. That's become way more popular than the dialogues, if I could say that. Coming to King of Kota has a fantastic BGM. Did you at any moment feel that swag when you were preparing for the role because of the BGM?
So a lot of the times whenever we commit films or we read scripts, we never hear music. We don't know the songs. So a lot of that is, we also enjoy it when you guys enjoy it. We probably hear it for the first time when you all see it. So I remember just having conversations with Jakes, and I'm like, Jakes, dude, so much is riding on you. I'm like, whatever you need, go all out. I'm like, but the only thing I requested Jakes was, I was like, I love it when background scores are hummable. Like when you walk out of the theater, if you hum the score, that means it really got into you. So it shouldn't be just a mood maker visually. I think it should be something that almost has like a melodious sort of song-like quality. Like you should be able to hum it. I think most of the best soundtracks, like a Mission Impossible or any of these, we kind of hum it. Like we know the track, or we use it as a caller tune or something. So I wanted something like that. But he's been knocking it out of the park with everything we put out. So even like People of Kota, the animation, I heard that track for the first time when the visual dropped. I was like, what is going on? So he's something that I haven't heard the full final score for the film because I've only been dubbing. But whatever I'm hearing are amazing things. So I think this is going to be Jakes' big moment. And hopefully, if the film really travels across India, I think he's going to be a force to reckon with.
Absolutely. One last question we'll take. Kidhar se? Ji.
Hi. Tejashri here from E-Times. My question is to Dulquer. We saw the trailer. It is thrilling. And your rowdy character is excellent. We are already getting the vibe of Pushpa, but somewhere. So, like the pose and the dialogue and everything. So, can you tell us
there's no influences as such.
Yeah.
I do love Bunny a lot as an actor and a performer. But I think this film was with us since 2019. And I think even as far as maybe 3 years ago, they'd put out like a character sketch. So we kind of had this plan in our minds. But I've heard this, and I think, in some way it's a compliment, but we're not trying to imitate or copy. But I hope it does what Pushpa did.
Yes. And also, as you said, you dub for all the 4 languages, right? 3 or 4 languages, yeah. And superstar, natural star Nani is all praise for you. He recently said that Dulquer is the only pan-India star who is committed and talented. What do you have to say on this?
It was very kind of him to say that. But I think there are many actors who do what I do, who work across languages and speak those languages or dub. But it is something that I genuinely enjoy doing because I have a love for languages. I have a love for our country. I love all the different cultures that we have. I think every time I go into a new industry for a film, I get to be there kind of as a local. And I think even when you travel, seeing a country as a tourist is very different from seeing it as a local. So if you have a friend in that place, when they take you around, it's very different from what the tourists see. So I think those have been the experiences I've been seeking. So I genuinely love doing this. Though sometimes I think I moonlight as a dubbing artist because I'm always in a dub suite. I did Guns and Gulabs in 5 languages, including English, and then this in 4. But that love for languages is so apparent because I feel like a lot of the times each language expresses very differently. So if I'm dubbing the same scene or same lines, I think each language allows you to express something very unique. And that is something I think only I get to experience because I do this. So I really cherish that.
You have a beautiful voice.
Thank you.
Yes. And yesterday you met Samantha and Vijay, and you had your like bromance over there in Hyderabad. So what you have to say on this?
It was very random though. So we were promoting in the same hotel and they were next door. So I saw this poster and I was like, oh, maybe they're setting up for the coming days or something. And I think Vijay also walked by, saw my poster and he's like, oh, yesterday was the launch. Maybe this is, left over from that. And then suddenly the teams met and they're like, what? We're all promoting at the same time. So we did a little collab. I think we might put it out today where Kushi and King of Kotha, we have a little conversation. But they're all dear friends of mine. I think another benefit I have from working across industries is I get to meet all these wonderful actors and I get to form these great friendships. And we all reach out to each other, even if it's to promote our films. Like, if they want something launched in Malayalam, I do it, and vice versa. And it's a very nice energy that I share with all of them. And I hope, that we all collaborate soon on something.
Yes. Thank you and all the best, all of you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen, for being so cool. Yes, it's time for a quick photo op. And I think King of Kotha pose ke saath hi we should start, yeah. At least the two of you. And no, you should be here, beach mein. Aishwarya, we want you beach mein. You just show your nakhras and yeah. Shabir bhai, you can do it. No, you can pose now. You can pose. Don't do that, Pona. Yeah. As if both of them are trying to,